so you can know what it takes to start doing this. When I was 14, Josh, I didn't know that this was not normal again because this was just my life.
Yep.
At 14, I was making $200 to $300 every week, working 2 days. I worked Saturday, Sunday at Denny's and make $200 to $300 in that weekend. Back in the 90s, I want y'all to understand this. Back in the 90s, that was what people was living on in poverty. They were living on that in poverty. So I didn't know I was being arrogant and egotistical when I would wait on tables and remember every order. I didn't use a notepad. I remember this. Didn't use a notepad. People used to say, "Are you gonna be able to remember my order because you're not using a notepad?" I was building up my skills then. Josh, no lie. After the weekend, I remember it was this other black dude that worked there. He was in college. He used to want to do like tip challenge, like who made the most tips. When I was 14, I'm competitive because when you're from the streets, you getting it. Like you're not finna beat me doing nothing.
Nothing.
We finna hopscotch. I'm beating you at hopscotch. I'm beating you at everything. I'm beating
rocks.
you. Yeah, I'm beating you.
You want a race bet?
I'm beating you. You're not winning. You're not gonna win. So this dude in college, I'm 14. We used to have he used to be like, man, who made the most tips? I used to pull out my tip. I used to pull them out, and on a Saturday, I could make up to $200.
Yeah.
On a Saturday.
Yeah.
On a Sunday, another $100.
Yeah.
So we pulling it out of our pocket. I'm $300, and you only got $100. You in college. I'm in high school.
Right.
We stopped playing Lil Bank Take
Big Bank Take Little Bank.
We stopped playing because for me it wasn't a game. For me it was survival. I was like, no, you're not beating me. You're not gonna win. Granted, sometimes he would beat me because he's a grown ass man.
Of course.
I'm a kid. I'm 14.
Right.
Imagine at 14 you tell your parents, hey, I want my first car. Y'all ain't got to pay for it. I'll pay for it.
Right.
My dad came and said, Kevin, to help you out, I'll only pay the insurance. Typically, parents pay the car note.
Right.
And the kid pay the insurance.
Right.
He said to help you out, I would pay the insurance. Because I was paying my own car note at 14. I was paying my own cell phone bill and car note at 14. At 14. Matter of fact, my dad didn't go to the dealership to look for my car. I went to the dealership by myself. I had somebody drop me off and say, "Hey, look, I need to go. I don't know what I want to get.
Right.
I want to get a car." My girlfriend at the time was like, "Hey, go to this dealership." I went to the dealership, negotiated my own first car. It was like, all we need is your parents' signature. When my dad showed up for my car, I take that back. My dad helped me find my first car. But he just dropped me off. He didn't because he had time. Dropped me off, and we had a friend named Cedric. Cedric owned the dealership, and I'm saying these people's names because a lot of times we don't give flowers to the black people that helped us out. It was a black dude named Cedric. He had a car dealership. My dad dropped me off, and then my dad dropped me off and said, "Pick the car you want, and then we'll talk to Cedric." It was 14. I picked the car. Cedric was like, "This is gonna be this." I was like, "No. It need to be around this. I need to around this payment." Negotiated with him. He said, "Okay, we got to wait for your dad to come back." Went back, got my first car. It was a Honda Civic, $200 a month. I never missed a payment.
Right.
Then my dad paid the insurance. Done. Like 14, you couldn't tell me nothing.
Right.
I went into the summer of 14. It was like, I'm the only person in my freshman class.
Right.
I'm one of the few people with a car.
Right.
Didn't know that's how I was bred. That's the environment I grew up in. You either get it or you don't. So I was getting it and playing football and still going to school. That was hyper independence is a symptom of extreme trauma. I want people to understand this. When you get to a point where you feel like you don't need help from nobody, you don't need help from anyone. When you get to that point where you say, I don't want anyone's help, it sounds good.
It sounds good.
I promise when women be out here saying I'm independent, I don't need a man, that sounds real good to an untrained or to a person that don't know any better. I have a trained ear, so when I hear that, I don't hear that that's good. I'm hearing like, hey, what got you to that point?
Yeah, oh, you fighting 2 battles. Oh, okay.
I was fighting that battle at 14.
Because, 'cause, see, a lot of people still fighting childhood battles as adults.
But at 14, Josh, I thought that it was cute. You know what I'm saying? Like I was like, man, I had a pocket full of money.
It's fucking 30-year-olds still think that shit cute. Like women wear that shit as a badge. Oh, okay. Never mind. Well, I mean, and that's just what it is. But you fighting 2 battles.
14 though. The story kept me. We just at 14 years old.
Yeah.
And at 14, I probably lived the life that most adults live. Mm-hmm. Most adults don't get their first car until they go to college. Mm-hmm. And sometimes that's the only car they get when you're from poverty. Mm-hmm. Look, I want y'all to get this. When you're from the hood, the only thing that matters is that you get a car. The reason that most people don't go to college is because they don't have a car. That's one. It's a list of things that stop people from being successful. Having a car is one of them. In the South, we live in the South.
Yep.
Now, up north, you can take the train, bus, all that. In the South, if you don't have a car, you ain't shit.
Yep.
I promise you, because you're not walking 20 miles, 30 miles every day to go to work. But in the South, you have no choice. Realistic. So most people don't get a car. Where I'm from, a lot of people don't have a car.
Right.
My uncle still walks to this day. Mm-hmm. I want y'all to get this. My uncle is in his late 40s. He still walks. He still walks. Man, look. Most people in the hood don't make it out because they can't get a car. That's poverty.
That's poverty.
At 14, I knew a car was important, so I had to get one. I didn't care what I had to do. I don't care if I had to work doubles, triples, whatever. I don't care if I had to quit the football team. I was like, I got to get a car because I got to get back and forth to work. That's a responsibility.
Right.
That's hype. But I want y'all to look at the other side of that. Should a 14-year-old truly be worried about that?
Not at 14.
Are your 14-year-old kids worried about that right now? You know what they're worried about? You want me to tell you what they're worried about? A phone.
How many likes? How many followers?
They have no survival skills. Look, when I say survival, I mean everyone needs to develop survival skills. That means that when stuff don't go right, you know how to make it. If the world is not easy to live in. I don't know why parents raise these kids to make them feel like that everyone is gonna like you. Everyone is not gonna like you, and people are gonna tell you no, and people are gonna call your kids trash. If they trash, if you got a kid, I'm finna get in this right. We got 10 minutes. I'm finna get in my education. Remember, we stopped at 14. We stopped at 14. Because now I'm finna give you like some kid advice. If you got kids, students, right? Because right now, I'm finna get into my educator bag, and then we'll get to the rest of the story, part 2. Mm-hmm. If you have a kid right now that's being virtually taught, a majority of the reason that kid is failing is not because of the school. It's because your kid doesn't have any structure at home. Mm. Most parents send their kids to school to get structure. If kids don't have structure, they fail. So right now, and people not going to accept this yet. Because I'm going to say something, and people are like, "Dang, Kevin is blaming the parents." I want y'all to get this. At school, when you're a true educator, one of the major components of being a teacher is classroom management. Yeah. If you're an educator and you watch this and you hear me say the word classroom management, give us some likes or subscribe to the channel. Mm-hmm. Like, if anybody watches this and you hear what I'm saying, you like it, give us some likes, give us some shares. We need subscribers. I'm not even on front. This is value. We finna get to value moments. Yep. It's classroom management. It takes teachers six months to a year before they become real proficient, or not even proficient, before they become average. Mm-hmm. Or below average in classroom management. Parents, if your kid talks back to you at home, which most single parent kids do, mm-hmm. because they talk back to the mamas, they don't talk back to the daddy. My son, man, look.
Man, that should be night and day. Anyway.
You understand? You're a parent
mm-hmm.
too.
Yeah. It should be night and day.
And I want you to understand something. That's the cycle. That's a natural That's a natural tendency. There's nothing wrong with that because the woman is supposed to nurture. Mm-hmm. The man is supposed to provide and protect.
So you fighting two battles.
You're trying to be both.
Oh, okay.
So the reason a lot of kids are failing right now is because single parent homes. You can't be a nurturer. Look, the reason that the system has a good cop and bad cop is because one person can't be both.
That'd be crazy. Having one person in the interrogation room being the good cop and the bad cop.
But that's what most single parents try to do.
That's crazy.
That's a responsibility that single parents have. Mm-hmm. So you're trying to play good cop and bad cop in an environment where your kid is at home with you and you have to keep them on task.
Oh, well, Kev, that's not their fault that they're single parents, though.
Man, that was a choice.
Oh.
It's look, accountability requires you to take ownership of the choices you make. Good, bad, ugly. Take it.
Well, how did I know that they wasn't gonna stick around after the kid was here?
You knew when you did what you did to attract that person. Like attracts like, you are. Like attracts like. Sometimes you do attract the opposite, but most people, the energy you put out is what you're getting back.
Kev, they're not gonna like this episode.
We talking about parents in school right now, but this applies to like relationships too, though. Yeah. So
a lot of folks not gonna like this.
Man, it's cool, man. You don't got to. Like I promise you, I am at a part of my life where you don't gotta like this. Because most people can't handle this. Mm-mm. Not this part of me. The shun is not this part of me. So parents, let's get back to the parents.
Yeah.
So we got what? 3 minutes. This community, 3 minutes left. The reason that your kid is failing in school is because you have not taught them the principles and the values it takes to be successful in life. Let me explain. If your kid is not doing their work at home, they're irresponsible. In the workforce, an irresponsible person is homeless. So, if your kid's only responsibility is to play a game all day,
that's it.
Guess what they're going to do when they're at home all day and they're supposed to be in class? They playing games because they have no accountability. They have no responsibility. And you expect them to sit at home and be responsible without you giving accountability and structure to their day. That's classroom management. It takes teachers. Look, we need to appreciate teachers way more than we do. Mm-hmm. It takes a trained teacher, a professional, 6 months to do that. I'm not blaming anyone in this scenario because COVID-19 put a lot of people in positions they weren't prepared for. But I'm telling you the reason why. I'm giving you the reason why. You were not, and I want you to know that your kid not performing is a reflection of your parenting.
I'm glad you said that, Kev, because it seemed like you was going down that little road.
No, I wasn't. I was coming back.
I was like,
I knew people was going to be like, I'm not. It's a reflection of your parenting. So if you're, I'm going to tell you this, because I'm going through this right now myself. Gotcha. And I'm going to leave with this. At the school, is your child allowed to bring their cell phone? Mostly, they're not. So why do you allow your kids to have a cell phone during school hours at home?
Oh, well, I need to be able to get in contact with them.
You can't because they're at home with you now. Why they still got their cell phone? I'm thinking you give you something else to think about. At school, your kid has a structure to what time they wake up in the morning. That structure is uniquely designed to help them in the structure of the workforce. Why is your kid allowed to wake up at 12 o'clock and start doing work versus at 7 o'clock when they were getting up at 7 o'clock every day anyway? Whose fault is that? Is it the schools? Because the school's still going. The accountability matters. Everyone has to be accountable. There's no reason why your kid is not showing up to school on time in a virtual. You got kids showing up late to virtual. I'm going to leave it with that. This has been The Wealth Effect. Love you all.
Peace.